Science and politics are a hard match. Truth is the imperative of science. It's not always the first goal of political affairs. The White House itself, science has taken a back seat. Pretty clear that the president has never taken a leadership position on science. He's never spoken in a positive way about it. He's never shown any clear interest in his own presidential Council of Advisors in Science and Technology. He's not acted more broadly in an evidence-based fashion. You can also see the lack of respect for science in the way the president has approached the idea of getting science from a personal advisor. It took him well over a year to appoint a science advisor. When that advisor was appointed, he wasn't given the usual high-level rank of assistant to the president. He didn't have quasi-cabinet status.
Why didn't the business community and universities, which are powerful lobbies, why didn't they, through the business community, say this can't go on? I mean, I don't have an answer for this. In other words, why didn't the stakeholders make themselves heard? And the stakeholders that are very powerful.
We're dealing, in effect, with two contracts, I'd argue. One between science and society, and the other between science and the state. And interestingly, it's the one between science and the state that has occupied most of the conversation. That often the ways in which scientists would like to enhance the more visible contract, increased public expenditure on research, and perhaps increased public reliance on science's findings, and more assurance of the increased funding, also we've heard, that science may look to that set of demands may look to ordinary people, much like selfish lobbying, and I think this is a point that David made. A lobbying that is inconsistent with the promise of disinterestedness that historically underwrote science's claims to impartiality and truthfulness.
In this hyper-polarized, impossibly polarized political situation where now science appears to be the one sort of aspect of human endeavor that has some kind of patina of objective truth to it. And so everyone says, my argument is based on science, even though most policy questions, while they contain an element of science, are actually policy questions. It's not a question, to maybe distort what Dr. Varmus quoted Dr. Letterberg is saying, but it's not a question of science having truth and politics not being interested. It's that politics has to make choices where there is not one side or another that has truth.